Hello everybody! I hope you're all having an amazing night or day, wherever you are and whatever time it is. Hope you all had an amazing holiday, even though we're kind of like still in the, holiday season, but it is so good to be back. I know that I haven't streamed for a few weeks, and that's because I have been working on some projects, and I am now working as a health coach, so got a few different things going on, and I'm also creating a course, but I'm so happy to be back and to talk to you guys today. Thank you all so much for coming to hang out with me for a little bit. I have been experimenting with some different states of consciousness. One of them is liminal dreaming, so I want to talk to you guys about liminal dreaming, and it's actually a lot easier to do than lucid dreaming, but you can use it to enhance your lucid dreaming practice and still induce similar states of consciousness. So I want to kind of talk to you guys about liminal dreaming. Oh, is the mic cutting out? Let me fix that really quick. And then lucid dreaming. How to lucid dream. 3 simple steps to lucid dreaming. A lot of people complicate it or think that we have to do all of these different techniques and different things to lucid dream, but it actually just comes down to a few simple things that I want to talk to you guys about. Is that better? Can you guys hear me? I think that should do the trick. So first, we're just going to jump into the basics of lucid dreaming, the 3 steps that I want to recommend to you. Talk to you guys a little bit about how to set up a night routine, so a cool dreamy night routine that actually helps induce these experiences and helps improve your sleep as well, which is great. And then liminal dreaming. You're probably already experiencing liminal states of consciousness without even realizing it. And this maybe hypnagogia and hypnopompia sound familiar? You know, hypnagogic imagery, hypnopompic imagery. Well, those are liminal states of consciousness, and you can actually use those states to dream and to explore consciousness, and you're basically on the edge of wakefulness and dreaming in liminal states. So we're going to talk a little bit about that after the basic steps to lucid dream. And then you can kind of combine these practices together and have a lot of fun with it. So I know a lot of you have had questions about, well, how do we get lucid then if we are just taking a nap? We don't sleep long enough to go into REM during naps, so how are we lucid dreaming? Well, that's because we go into liminal states of consciousness, so those are induced by liminal dreams, if that makes sense. Basically, when you're starting to fall asleep, that is liminal dreaming, and when you're waking up and you're seeing all those colors, flashes of colors, I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with those swirling colors that you see, flashes of images and stuff before you go to bed, maybe as you wake up as well. Those are the liminal states of consciousness. So instead of lucid dreaming and dreaming throughout your sleeping period, liminal dreaming happens before and after, which is pretty cool. So you can actually induce these states pretty much instantly at any time. Have you ever even just meditated and went into a really deep meditation and started to see those colors swirling and those flashes of images? That is liminal dreaming. And the deeper you go, you can access really cool states of consciousness and actually learn to get lucid in all stages of your sleep, even non-dreaming sleep, which means you're basically conscious during deep delta wave sleep, dreamless sleep. So it's almost like you're dreaming in the blackness, in the dark. It's like a void, but it's not dark. It's like has its own imagery going on. It's really interesting. So don't just focus on lucid dreaming. Know that you can get conscious in all states of sleep, which is really, really cool. And all different states of sleep will have different experiences and sensations. And so not only can you be like an onironaut and explore lucid dreaming, but you can explore all stages of consciousness within sleep and use them for different things. The difference really between lucid dreaming and liminal dreaming as well is liminal dreaming is usually all of your thoughts that you've had throughout the day, all of the things that are on your mind, like all of the things that you've seen, like those are the images that flash before your eyes, before sleep and after sleep. But they're not tangible stories like lucid dreams are, a lot of the time. They're more like just images and pieces of information. So they're different states of consciousness. They're still dreams, just like lucid dreams and regular dreams, but they're slightly different. And so I kind of want to talk about both of those today. First, we're going to talk about lucid dreaming, 3 steps to lucid dreaming, like I said earlier. So the first thing that I want you guys to know is having a journal to record your experiences is the most important thing that you can do, because you're using it for literally every single part of your practice. When you have a journal for your lucid dreams and your out-of-body experiences, number one, you're helping increase your dream recall, so you're going to remember more and more experiences the more you write in your journal. When you write in your journal, you're showing to your brain it's actually a priority to remember what happens during sleep. And so the more you try to recall what happens during sleep, the more that happens during sleep, and you have more to write down in your journal. It will also help you see what's working and what doesn't work when it comes to your lucid dreaming and out-of-body experience practice. You can look through all of the lucid dreams and out-of-body experiences you did have and see the similarities between all of those experiences. Were you going to bed at a similar time, all of those experiences? Were you eating some of the same things before you go to bed? What were you thinking about before you went into those experiences? You can start to compare your experiences within the lucid dream and out-of-body experience and start to play with it and see if you can create your own formula for what specifically works for you. Say you usually get lucid by a specific technique, then maybe you'll want to incorporate that technique more. Maybe when you eat a certain food or watch a certain video, you have crazy dreams. Well, maybe you'll want to implement those things a little bit more in your practice. This practice is very personal to you, and it's all about taking all of the information that you receive and kind of figuring out what works for you, what doesn't, and the way to do it in order to get the best results. What if you don't remember your dreams? So I'm really glad that you asked that, JC, because dream journaling actually helps increase your dreams. Now I know what you're saying, like, how can I start to dream journal if I don't remember my dreams? That doesn't make sense. Well, the dream journal is not just for writing down your dreams, but it's actually to practice memory recall. So you don't just have to put your dreams in it. Say, for example, you're not remembering any dreams at all, which is a lot of people, but you can always cultivate dream recall and remembering your dreams. But say you're not remembering any dreams at all. What you'll want to do is you'll still want to use a dream journal, but as you're falling asleep, and I recommend this to everybody, I even do this still, or you can create your own mantra. But if you're not remembering dreams, what I recommend saying before bed as you're falling asleep is, tonight I'll remember my dreams. I have excellent dream recall. That's basically affirming to your brain that you do remember dreams, and it's helping you think about dreams before bed, so you're more likely to remember your dreams in the morning. But as soon as you wake up, if you don't remember any dreams, you're still going to write in your journal. Basically, you're going to report anything that happened during sleep. Did you wake up to go to the bathroom? Do you remember tossing and turning during sleep? Do you remember receiving like random thoughts or images in your mind, or you saw flashes of a specific color at some point in the night? Anything that you experienced during your sleeping cycle, you want to write down in your dream journal. And if you don't remember anything, like you literally just blacked out and you woke up and don't remember anything at all, you can just write that down. No recall, no dream recall. I didn't remember anything tonight. And just the fact that you're taking time to write in your journal and report what happened is showing your brain that it's actually a priority to remember what happens during sleep, and that it should start saving that information and bringing it to the conscious mind. So now, the next night you go to sleep, do this affirmation and wake up to write your dreams down, it's going to get easier and easier to recall your dreams. And after about a week of doing this, you're going to start to have very long, vivid dreams, several dreams a night. Once you have your dream recall, then you can start becoming more conscious in your dreams and getting lucid in your dreams. But the first step is to build your recall. So everybody should have a journal. This is a huge part of the practice. Plus, there are so many messages. We get so many answers to a lot of the questions that we have that we don't even realize because we don't practice remembering our dreams or writing it down. A lot of people have prophetic dreams as well. Have you ever dreamt about something and then a couple days later a very, very, very similar thing actually happened? Well, if you weren't writing your dreams down, you most likely wouldn't remember these experiences, and you wouldn't be able to see what your subconscious mind is trying to tell you. You can use just regular dreams for a lot of information as well. Even just your regular dreams really tell a lot about you and what's going on beneath the surface. Keep in mind, everything within the dream is created by your mind. Literally everything, every blade of grass, every cloud, every dream character, they are all aspects of you. And so your subconscious mind is basically writing you a story through images when you have dreams. What I like to say is that a dream is your subconscious mind writing you a letter through images, but it's our job to decipher it. It's like subconscious hieroglyphs or something that is specific to us. And so we don't just want to use lucid dreaming. There are many different states of consciousness and even just regular dreams that hold so much value and information. Not one practice is more important than the other. They're just used for different things and accessed in different ways, if that makes sense. But everyone should have a dream journal. Practice writing in it as soon as you wake up in the morning. You don't want to wake up and get out of bed immediately and start going about your day and checking your phone, and because you're going to create so much brain activity that you're going to wake up really quickly, and your conscious mind is going to spring open and your subconscious mind is going to abruptly close, and your dream recall is going to close along with it. So what I'd recommend doing to increase your dream recall is, as soon as you wake up, try not to move, try not to even open your eyes if you can wake up without opening your eyes, and just lay there and relax. Ask yourself some questions. Do I know where I was in my dream? Do I know who I was with? Do I remember any thoughts or feelings throughout the night, or ones that I potentially had in my dream? Do I remember anything at all? You know, you just want to probe your mind and ask yourself questions, and then write down anything that comes through. Again, it doesn't have to be a dream, but the more you write down just anything that happens during sleep, or nothing at all, make sure to write it down anyways, you're going to start to dream more. And so just the act of writing your dreams down is actually, or even just writing what happens during sleep down, is going to increase your dream recall. So definitely start keeping a dream journal. I'm actually working on creating custom lucid dreaming journals for you guys that you can actually purchase, ones that help induce lucid dreams through, I want different affirmations in there, different techniques, and I want to be able to break down the dream journaling process for you so you can actually use it to start inducing lucid dreams. So for example, I'm going to ask you, or you can even do this in your journal, was this a lucid dream or was this a regular dream? And then you're going to write out your dream. What could this dream represent? You're going to write that out. Are there any dream symbols that keep reoccurring, or are there any themes in this dream? You write that out. You know, you really analyze your dreams. That's what I'd recommend doing if you really want to go hard in the practice, because the more you indulge yourself in the dreaming realm and you get to know your dreaming mind, it's going to get easier to lucid dream. Because say that you always dream that you're in a school of some sort. That's my specific dream sign. I always dream that I am in a school, I'm in a college, I'm in a preschool, elementary school, I'm in some sort of class or school, and so probably 80% of my dreams currently, I swear. So I've become very familiar with that territory in my dreams, right? So now during the day, when I see a high school or a school, I'm gonna start to think of my dreams. So once you start to analyze your dreams, oh, I'm in a school a lot in my dreams. The next time you're in a school in your dream, you're going to remember that you saw this in your dream journal, think that it's kind of weird, and potentially find out that you're dreaming if you've built up the awareness. So as you can see, dream journals can get you lucid. They can help you decipher messages from your subconscious mind. You can find your dream signs. You can create your dream triggers through what you're experiencing in your dreams. You can literally break your whole dream apart and use that for growth and excelling your practice even more. So dream journaling, even if you don't remember dreams currently, that will help you create really strong dream recall. So that's the first thing that I would recommend. Something that I noticed in my dreams, if I try to go back to another area in a dream, my subconscious attacks me and wakes me up. So is this a lucid dream or is this just a regular dream? And maybe it's because your subconscious is trying to guide you in another direction. That's another thing. A lot of people think that lucid dreaming is about control. But lucid dreaming is just about the awareness that you are dreaming. Maybe there's something really important that your dream is trying to show you. And so when we keep trying to go off track or do our own thing, sometimes the subconscious mind will be trying to bring us back to the dreaming story so we can figure out what the message is. And you also might notice this as well. Are you trying to call something to you in the lucid dream, but then you keep waking up? Maybe the subconscious mind is telling you that we're not ready to go there based on where we're at now. You know, like we need to learn to listen to the dream as well, because that's a lot of the time a big reason why people don't lucid dream a lot, because in regular dreams we can't interfere, right? So if there's something that is really pressing on our subconscious mind, it's potential that we won't get lucid. It will just be a regular dream, so the subconscious can actually give us that information. So if you start practicing being open to receive different messages from your subconscious mind, even in your lucid dreams, go into a lucid dream and just sit and watch what happens. Just kind of meditate. Watch what happens in the lucid dream without you interfering with it. There's always something that comes out. So once you practice starting to be more open and like kind of let the subconscious show you what it wants to show you, you'll start to lucid dream more, because now even if you get lucid, the dream knows that you'll still be open to receiving instead of about control, you know? So it's all about being open and having that childlike curiosity about the practice. This should be fun, this should be playful, this should be adventurous, and this should be fulfilling. So any way that you can give that to yourself through this practice, that's what you want to do. So again, the first step is to dream journal. Again, that is very, very essential for so many reasons, like we talked about. And it will really show you what's working in your practice, what's not, what times usually work, what times you're usually dreaming, what dream themes and dream signs keep showing up in your dreams. The dream journal shows you so much, so that's really going to aid you in the practice. Now the next thing is awareness. Why do you think we don't get lucid every single night? Well, the habits that we have during waking life actually transfer to the dream. So if you just assume that you're always awake when you're awake, you're going to start assuming that you're awake in the dream, never checking to see if you are dreaming. So we have to stop being so sure that we're awake all the time, because that's causing us to be sure in the dream that we're awake, causing us to miss out on lucid dreams that we could be potentially having. So what we want to do is start to analyze our dreaming self. Is your dreaming self aware of what's going on? Or does it think flying animals and like flying cars, like some animals fly, but you know what I'm saying, like flying pigs and flying cars, is that normal to your dreaming self? If that's the case, then you're going to have to start building awareness in waking life so that transfers to your dreaming self. So see your dreaming self as an extension of you, because it is. So if your dreaming self has a habit that you want to break, start practicing breaking that in waking life. So the awareness is a good example, because if we practice becoming aware more and we're aware of our environment and what's happening, that's going to transfer to our dreaming self. And of course, if we're aware of what's happening and we're critical of what's going on and we're really paying attention in our dreams, then we're going to get lucid. So the key to consistent awareness and lucid dreams is to create a habit of awareness in waking life. And you can do this through different things that some people call reality checks or awareness checks, but I don't want you to get confused on the point of reality checks, because I feel like people focus on the wrong things when it comes to reality checks. A lot of people think it's just about checking your fingers and trying to poke your finger through your palm to see if you could be dreaming. But the reality check is actually not even about the check itself. It's about the mental questioning. Asking yourself if you could be dreaming right now, starting to play back your day from where you are now back to when you woke up. Do you remember the whole process? Or is it broken up, or do you not even know how you got to where you are? You know, you really want to start to become aware of what's going on and become critical. When weird things happen in waking life, start to ask yourself, could this be a dream? What is dream like right now around me? Are there any signs that I'm dreaming? Do I know how I got here? Like, start to ask yourself these questions throughout the day, and you'll notice you start to do this in the dream eventually without you even, it just happens in your regular dreams, and it causes you to realize that you're dreaming. So start to use the waking state as a practice for the dream state. We want to become aware in our dreams, so we want to become aware when we are awake and not be on autopilot, because that's how a lot of us live. We live on autopilot. We don't even remember how we got to work. We just remember driving to work. We don't remember what we saw, you know? And so we want to kind of reverse that and become very conscious of what's going on. Throughout the day, I will just call my day back. Say I'm walking my dog outside. Okay, what's going on around me? I'm walking my dog. What was I doing before this? I made a cup of tea. What was I doing before this? I did some work on my computer. What was I doing before that? You know, you call your whole day back to when you woke up, because if you create a habit of this, then you're going to start to do that naturally in the dream. And you're going to be like, wait, and before that, I was brushing my teeth and got in bed. Wait, so this must be a dream. You know, it's all about that awareness. That's really what this is about. And when you become lucid, a part of your brain up here called the prefrontal cortex activates. And the prefrontal cortex is associated with your sense of self and your critical thinking. And so when you're in your regular dreams, this is turned off, which is why if you dream that you're the Queen of Egypt, you'll believe you're the Queen of Egypt, because your sense of self in this reality is turned off. When you start to practice awareness and critical thinking throughout the day, which means you're using this part of your brain more in the waking state, you're going to start using this part of your brain more in the dream. And when you start to question, wait, this can't be right, this must be a dream, your prefrontal cortex is activated, your sense of self is activated, which means you know that you are dreaming, you know that your body is sleeping in bed, and you know that you have control over your experience. So it is all about activating that part of your brain, activating that part of your awareness by practicing in the waking state. The waking state, what we do in the waking state, is going to reflect in our dreams. So again, if you notice that your dreaming self is unaware and just kind of goes along with whatever the dream story is, practice awareness in the waking state to train your dreaming self to be more aware. So see the waking state as important for this practice. Now, reality checks, they can be used with physical checks. Now, what I recommend with these, because again, it's about the awareness, but physical checks help because the waking state is going to react differently than the dreaming state would with these specific checks. For example, in the dream state, you can put your hand through walls, right? You can literally do anything because the laws of physics don't apply in the dream world, but they do in the waking state. So if you were to check if you were dreaming and tried to put your hand through a wall in the waking state and it couldn't go through, there's a chance that you're awake. So it's all about checking to see the results of your reality check and to ask yourself the questions to determine if you could be asleep or awake. So we want to take that concept and we want to twist it a little bit. So you don't always want to be trying to put your hands through walls and things. You can do that for reality checks, but you want to use something as a reality check that you have on you at all times, because you're not guaranteed to be near a wall in your dreams, right? You could be in the middle of a field. And if you only do your reality checks in waking life when there's a wall around, if you're not by a wall in your dreams, you're not going to do a reality check, right? So you want to use something for your reality checks that you should always have. You should always have your hands, right? That's why you see so many reality checks around checking your hands, because we should always have these on us at all times. And there's a few different reasons why hands can help you get lucid quicker. The number one reason is because your hands have very fine lines on them, right? And you can see tons of detail up close. But the dream sometimes has a hard time creating that amount of vivid detail. So a lot of the time in your dreams, you will have blurry hands, or you won't even have your hands at all. They will be someone else's hands. So what you want to do is get in the habit of checking your hands during the day, because again, what we do during the day is going to show up in our dreams. So if we start to check our hands during the day and become critical and make sure they look normal, then we're going to start doing that in the dream realm, leading us to realize that we're dreaming. So that is why people use hands a lot for reality checks. I'm going to show you a few of the reality checks that I use, and you can always create your own too. That's what's fun. You can use anything in your environment. The next reason, though, hands work for your reality checks is because we have 10 fingers. Not everybody, but I have 10 fingers. I should have 10 fingers, right? So when I count them and I become critical of them, I want to make sure that I have 10 in the waking state, because if you kind of rush through your reality checks in the waking state, you're going to do the same thing in the dream. Keep that in mind. Your habits in waking life are your habits in your dreams. So be very thorough and really try to question if you could be dreaming when you're awake, and you'll actually start to question it when you're dreaming. But in the dream, if you get in the habit of checking your hands, the dream has a very hard time at replicating what it just saw. So if you make sure you have 10 fingers, look away and look back again, if you do this in the dream from habitually doing it in waking life, your dreams are going to change the next time that you look at it. That's why people do their reality checks more than once. They'll check the time. Okay, it's 9:16 for me. Look away and look back again. Okay, it's still 9:16. If I did that in a dream, the time would most likely change the second time. So keep that in mind. When you're doing reality checks, you're basically just looking for the glitch in the matrix to see what state of consciousness you're actually in, what dimension you're actually in, this 3D dimension or the dream dimension. So you have to put on your detective cap and try to figure it out by using what's in your environment and asking yourself questions to determine if you are dreaming or if you are awake. So that is kind of how reality checks work. You want to combine the mental check, so asking yourself the questions and activating this prefrontal cortex, and you also want to add the physical checks. So using your hands to check, checking the time, checking something in your environment. If you've seen the movie Inception, you may be familiar with this, where they actually use the spinning top as a reality check. If it doesn't stop spinning, then they know that they're in the dream. But if it stops spinning, then they know that they are awake. You don't really want to use an object like that, again, like we talked about, because you're not always guaranteed to have that spinning top with you. But again, you should always have your hands. So that's why I use my hands for a reality check. So the first reality check that I do is I count my fingers like we talked about, but I'm going to show you the exact process that you need to do for this in order for it to work. Because a lot of people skip through this or aren't very meticulous and thorough with this, and so it doesn't really show up in their dreams. So when you count your hands, you actually want to put yourself in this state of mind that you could be dreaming. Play a game with yourself. Can you actually feel like you could be dreaming right now? It makes you start to observe things differently, right? Like if you thought that you could be dreaming, you'd start to be hyper aware of your surroundings. That's the state of mind that you want to start getting in throughout the day, because you're going to start doing that in the dream if you do it in waking life. So for a reality check, you want to start thinking that you could be dreaming right now. You know, things don't always look as they seem, right? So you want to start thinking that way. So you're going to start to think that you could be dreaming right now. You want to check your hands. Really make sure that these look like your hands, because I promise you, the dream can really fool you, and you want to make sure that you have some tricks up your sleeve to determine if you're dreaming or if you're awake. You want to look at your hands. I look at my hands and make sure they're solid, because in the dream realm, you can literally put your finger through your hand. In waking state, you should not be able to do that. So I want to check that. Okay, this feels very solid. I want to count my fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Look away and look back. Okay, they look the same. They didn't change, so this probably isn't a dream, because again, the dream would change and shift all around. Has a very hard time at staying consistent. So we want to look for consistency. Okay, well, I still have 10 fingers. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I passed the first reality check. It looks like that one shows us that we are awake, but we don't want to be fooled. We want to move on to the next reality check to determine if we could be awake or dreaming. Next, I'm just going to try to poke my fingers through my palm. Okay, it seems solid. My fingers don't seem to be coming through on the other sides. Okay, that reality check passed. Now I'm going to try to plug my nose and breathe in. And if you can breathe in through a closed nose, then you are dreaming. And the reason why this works is because if you get in the habit of using this as a reality check and plugging your nose and trying to breathe in, you're going to start to do this habitually in the dream. But since your actual body isn't plugging its nose, it's only your dreaming body that's plugging its nose, you're still going to be able to breathe even when you have your nose plugged in the dream. So I found that this is a really good reality check to use. Because it feels really weird too when you realize that you're dreaming through being able to breathe through a closed nose. These are just super weird to experience in the dream when it actually happens. So do yourself a favor and actually start to make these a habit, because the more you do this throughout the day and the more you get in that mindset that you could be dreaming, the more lucid dreams you're going to have and the more awareness you're going to have overall. So awareness checks are not something to skip out on. It is very, very important, but I promise you it is worth it. It will help you so much with this practice. Let's see, I've been trying to lucid dream for a while. Let's see. And the best way for me to get lucid is to have high awareness, but lately I haven't been able to have high awareness. Any advice? Jennifer, this is what I would do. Reality checks and awareness checks, that's going to help increase your awareness in basically all states of sleep and consciousness. So this is the easiest way, really, unless it comes naturally, JC. So literally these 3 steps are all you need to do to induce natural lucid dreams and have spontaneous habitual ones. So this is seriously the best process. And all it is dream journal, doing awareness checks, and then having a cool nighttime routine to help induce these experiences. And you can make this really fun as well. And I wouldn't just focus on lucid dreams, I would focus on the whole process, because we're going to be talking about liminal dreaming as well, and that's dreaming before sleep and after sleep. So you can actually use all states of sleep, all states of consciousness for growth and transformation. So we shouldn't be so focused on a goal or a destination when it comes to lucid dreaming, but learn to enjoy the entire process. And when we start to learn to enjoy the entire process and work with the whole entire process, the more experiences we will naturally have. And I would say my biggest downfall with this was trying too hard, because when you try too hard, it's creating resistance. And when I started to have fun, let go, and be excited that I even had regular dreams, I mean, that was a crazy dream, that was so fun, you know, like once you start to activate that part of yourself, it's going to help you have so many more experiences. So very, very, very important. Awareness checks, again, you can use time, you can use the ones that I showed you, and you can use anything in your environment. And one thing I want to recommend is starting to do what's called the weird technique. So weird things happen in our dreams, right? I'm sure at least a few things weird have happened in your dreams, if not everybody. So since our habits in waking life transfer to our dreaming habits, anytime you experience something weird or odd in waking life, start to question and see if you could be dreaming. Start to ask yourself. That way, habitually, when you start to run into weird, odd things in the dream, you'll ask yourself the same questions and realize that you're dreaming. So the weird technique is super cool, and it basically is just reality checks, but triggered by weird things happening. So when weird things happen, you do your reality checks. When you go to the bathroom, do a reality check. Like, you can set up dream triggers for yourself, and like anytime something specific happens, you do a reality check, you know, something like that. That way you're creating the habit. If you do have an Android or Samsung Android, then you can download the app Awoken. And if you have an iPhone, then you can download the app Lucidity. And I think there's a couple other ones, but those you can put reality check alarms in. That way every hour you could get a notification on your phone, hey, check if you're dreaming, you know, like if you want that kind of reminder, you can download one of those apps. You can also write sticky notes on your wall, check if you're dreaming, or just set up dream triggers. Every time I walk through a door, I do a reality check. Every time I see this or this happens, you know, you can create your own experience. Gibbs, thank you so much for the $3, the sticker. That's so sweet. Thank you. And I love that sticker. He is so cute. Look how happy he is. Oh my gosh. Gib, you're the best. I hope you are doing well. I hope everyone had good holidays as well. Good holidays. Even though we're kind of still in that process. Let me try to get through some of the chats. In the movie Inception, they use a small item to judge whether or not they are dreaming. Can having something like this help to identify if we are dreaming? So I wouldn't have anything outside of yourself, like, because you're not guaranteed to have like a specific object, you know, at all times in your dreams. So I'd use your hands. Your hands are the spinning top, just like Inception uses the spinning top. That's what you use your hands for. Start to really become familiar with your hands. Look at your hands a lot throughout the day and just be like, wow, these have a ton of detail. Could I be dreaming? Or like, are they? You start to just question and observe things, especially like on your hands and like in your environment. And the more you look at your hands, the more you're going to look at your hands in the dream. And the more aware you are in waking state, the more aware you are going to be in the dream, which is going to cause you to realize that your hands are different than they usually are when you do your checks. And it's going to cause you to realize you are dreaming. So that is kind of how it works. It's literally just creating a dance with your dreaming self, if you will. Literally, the dream shows us what we need to do, what works for us. Like, all of the information is right in front of us. We just need to learn how to use it and use all states of consciousness. So we went through dream journaling, reality and awareness checks, the last part to the 3 steps of lucid dreaming, and then we're going to get into liminal dreaming. Okay, so the last step to lucid dreaming is creating a nighttime routine. This is very important because when we go to bed, where do we go? You know, we spend a third of our lives sleeping, which is roughly like 30 years of sleep, and so much can happen within those states of consciousness. You know, so we should almost be initiating ourselves into that state, right? Because we're like leaving our body, we're like becoming conscious in our dreams and like bringing back information from ourselves and like outside of ourselves. And it's like a pretty crazy shamanic experience, if you ask me. And I feel like it deserves a little bit more attention and, you know, practice and, you know, just attention and intention. So what we want to do is create a nighttime practice. Now you can totally like create whatever practice you want, but I'm going to kind of give you what I would recommend anyway. And then you can add on that, take away from it, do what you will. This is all about being comfortable, having fun, and just figuring out what works and what doesn't work for us specifically. So, first of all, I would probably recommend not eating right before bed. You can, you know, if you know, I snack at nighttime sometimes. I know a lot of people snack at nighttime sometimes, but if you really want to get the most out of this practice, try not to eat, especially like heavy meals right before bed. So try to aim it like 2 hours before you go to sleep, because it takes a lot of energy for our body to digest food, especially when we're laying down. So that's going to take away from our dreams. A lot of the time, if I eat before bed, I don't even have really good dream recall. So keep that in mind, especially days where you really want to take advantage of your dream practice. Kind of set up your routine going into sleep to benefit your dreaming practice, if that makes sense. Also teas, if you guys are interested in teas, lotus tea is crazy. Lotus tea is so crazy, you guys. It is insane. I had a client that hasn't had a lucid dream for like 4 months, and I recommended this tea and he got it, and he was like kind of whatever about using it. He was like, oh, I guess I'll see if it works. I don't really think it's gonna work because I've had such a dry spell, but you know, we'll see. The night that he drank that cup of tea before bed, he literally had a lucid dream, and then he didn't drink that tea for the rest of the week, and he still had 2 other lucid dreams that week. So if you're wanting to take advantage of natural dream herbs, lotus tea, you can get lotus plumule tea or blue lotus tea. Those are amazing, and you will really see an increase in your vividness, the colorfulness in your dreams, your clarity, like, oh, and they are just so crazy and vivid. So that is something to keep in mind. Also, relaxation. There should be 3 things really that we prepare before we go to bed: our environment, our mind, and our body. How can you prepare all of these things to help you create a more solid dream practice, if that makes sense? Jennifer, oh, thank you. I love you. You're so sweet. Oh. Hey guys, how are you? Thank you. I just did them yesterday. Thank you. They're kind of like weird actually if they zoom in. Oh, don't worry about it. It's just blurry. It's fine. But what was I talking about? Oh, environment, body, and mind. So how can you prepare your environment to be more relaxing and dreamy? I actually just redid my bedroom the other day. My friend bought me glow-in-the-dark stars. You know, like when you're a kid and you love this little glowy stars in the ceiling. I went and bought some. Oh no, she got them for me. I went and bought some lights to put in there, some like fun glowy lights. I have a little like water fountain in there. I have oil diffusers everywhere. It's, you know, it's a thing. I love my essential oils, but I want it to feel dreamy and relaxing when I lay down. I want it to feel like a sanctuary. I always say that my bed is my dreaming temple, because that's what I do for a living. I practice these things, I test them out, and then I teach other people how to do them. And so I do a lot of my work there, you know? So I want it to be a space where I feel inspired and where my dreams naturally happen because of the environment that I'm in. So really see how you can make your room fun, and this could be really, really cool. Let your inner child come alive. Like, what colors do you want in your room? Do you want to get glow-in-the-dark stars too? Get glow-in-the-dark stars. You want glow-in-the-dark stars, that's for sure. What else do you want to add to your room? What inspires you? What reminds you of dreams? Do you have any specific dream totems that you that you actually have something similar in waking life that you can put in your room to remind you of dreams. You know, you really want to create your environment. Those stars are the bomb, right? I know. Comes with 500. I've been busy putting those up. I don't even have nearly half of them up, but I'm so stoked about them. They're so cool. So environment, set it up. You deserve to feel relaxed, okay? And I literally went through everything in my closet too, because I feel like that energy is like still in my room. So of course you don't have to go crazy. I'm not telling you to like gut your whole house and like clear everything out, you know, especially like tomorrow. Like, I just want you to feel relaxed, okay? That's all I want. I want you to feel relaxed and I want you to have dreams. Next is your body. You gotta prepare your body to chill and relax so we don't have insomnia, so we don't have sore muscles, so we're not like jittery, and you know how it is sometimes. So we want to prevent that. So if you have like a yoga wheel, I just got the chirp wheel and it is the best thing ever if you're interested in some natural like chiropractic care. It's great. I have that. I have my acupressure mat. I do yoga. So you want to relax the body in some way, because if you exercise your body in some way before bed, you're going to be able to fall asleep quicker and you're going to reach a deeper state of sleep. And a lot of people will toss and turn and have insomnia if their body feels fatigued or like, you know, has too much energy, or maybe your muscles are sore. Like, it can just cause a lot of issues. And I'm not telling you to like go do some crazy workout, you know, you don't have to, you can just like stretch or something. I just want you to feel relaxed and have cool dreams. And this is definitely a way to help prepare you, especially if you're doing this all with the intention to have more lucid dreams and stuff, and like just dreams in general. It will create that. So preparing your body, again, relax in some way. What do you like to do? Like, how do you feel relaxed? How do you relax your body, your mind, and create a relaxing environment, you know? And then again, your mind. This is the last one. So journal. I love to journal. I have so many notebooks. I don't even want to look over there. It's crazy, but I love to journal and it feels relaxing. So journal before bed. I write down like the dreams I want to have. I write down affirmations. I write down like my lucid dreaming desires or my dreaming goals or something like that. Or you can even read through your dream journal, which I think is super, super fun, because it's like a dreaming, it's like a book from your mind. Like, I think it's so cool. It's just stories from your mind. And as you get older, those stories change, and the characters in those stories change, and the lessons and messages in those stories change, and your dreams grow as you grow. And so to have tons of dream journals that you keep and you can go back and look at, it's really cool. And you don't remember a lot of the dreams until you start reading them, and that's what's cool too. You could have 1,000,000 dream journals from all points of your life, and reading really any dream that you've had back, you'll instantly be able to recall it. So it's really good for recall as well. But just to see the progression of my dreams and the dream themes and like the stories in my dreams, and like how my dream character acted, and the weather in my dreams, how that changes, how now I'm in a different area, like it shows you how your mind is changing and how your mind is progressing. And it really helps you build a really beautiful connection with yourself and your dreaming self, because we are multidimensional beings. We are in so many other places than just this 1% of experience that we can see, which is visible light. Like, if you look into quantum physics and neuroscience, it would blow your mind, because it shows you that these are real states of consciousness and places we can go to. Even if you're like daydreaming and you're somewhere else mentally, if you're not in this moment, where are you? Where are you really? We can travel to tons of different places, and we do travel to tons of different places, even in conscious waking life, without even realizing it, you know? So play, like have fun playing, and create a really, really fun practice for yourself. So your nighttime routine can be what inspires you, but reading through your dream journals and reading those stories really helps submerge your mind in your dreaming content, and it puts you in a place where you're like familiar with your dreaming personality and your dream energy and like essence. For example, if you start to read a lot of your dreams, you're going to become very familiar with your dreaming territory. So the next time you're actually in a dream, you're more likely to realize it's a dream because you are familiar of the territory you're in. You know, it's just learning you. This process is just getting to know you, okay? That's really what it is. And I have so much fun in my dreams. My meditations, they're like dreams in themselves now. It's just crazy. Like, we are so much more than we are told. And I want to help show you guys that you can explore these things and have fun and see multiple sides of yourself than just what we're experiencing in this 3D dense reality, you know? So, nighttime routine. Again, you can write your affirmations, you can focus on what you want to dream about, you can read your dream journals, you can have that nice cup of mugwort tea or lotus tea. You can do some reality checks before bed. That way you're more likely to do them in your dreams. If you really want to dream about Alice in Wonderland, then watch Alice in Wonderland before bed as a part of your nighttime routine. You can change this each night based on what you want to experience that night. And it's so fun, and I love talking to clients and all of you guys, because it's like I get to connect with people who are practicing this too, and we're accessing these cool states of consciousness, and we're running experiments with each other, and I'm trying to send you images in your dream and you're trying to send me images in your dreams, and it's like fun. And that's how it's supposed to be. That's how life is supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun. And this practice helps me feel like I'm having fun, and it helps create freedom for me and helps me show other people that they have this innate freedom as well. Freedom is our birthright, and we deserve to be able to experience other parts of ourselves based off, you know, besides just this, you know, that once you start practicing this, you realize how like dynamic you actually are as a being. So that's why I'm mentioning this, because I really want you to feel inspired, and I want you to feel motivated, and I want you to feel excited, because I'm excited, and I want to create a safe space on this channel where like you can talk about your experiences. We can talk about the weird, cool things that we're experiencing. We can talk about like the fantasy worlds that we're creating in our minds. You know, when we were little, a lot of people said, oh, that's just a dream. Who cares? You know, we got told that so much when we were little. At least I did, and a lot of people did. But I want to reverse that for you. I want you to know that I do care about your dreams, and I do care about your experiences, and I do believe you that you experienced those things, you know, and I want to help you explore these things in a safe space and look at your life and see what you're ready to bring into your life and what doesn't serve you anymore and what you want to explore. And I want to help give you that, you know, that energy and that like knowledge that you can use for what, you know, serves you and inspires you. So I am here to help you guys. That's what I want you to know. And now we are going to get into liminal dreaming. I'm going to kind of give you a rundown of what liminal dreaming is. Chances are you're probably already doing it, so that's great. But before we get started, I just wanted to let you guys know, for anyone that if it's your first time here, again, my name is Haylee, and I am a Lucid Dreaming and Out-of-Body Experience. I'm just go by Altered States of Consciousness mentor, and I help people access these states of consciousness for life transformation and healing. I do offer online courses, classes, and one-on-one mentorship, so if you're interested in that, I just posted the link in the chat for anyone that's interested. But you also have lots of information on this channel that you can come to at any time, and I'm constantly wanting to put new things on the channel for you guys. So, and if you have any questions about anything, definitely let me know as well. But without further ado, let's get into liminal dreaming, what it is, and how we can start accessing it. So, like I said, lucid dreaming happens in the middle of your sleeping cycle. It happens during REM, which is roughly every 90 minutes of your sleep. But liminal dreaming actually happens as you're falling asleep and as you're waking up. These are the states that we usually call hypnagogic imagery and hypnopompic imagery, or this is at least the imagery that we see in these states. Hypnagogia happens as we're falling asleep, and that's all of those flashing colors and images and sensations you might feel as you're falling to sleep. And then as you're waking up, hypnopompia is this same exact state basically, but as you're coming out of sleep. So it's like your subconscious opening going into the dream, and then your subconscious starting to close coming out of the dream. Both of these states are dreaming states, and this is why you'll experience faces and seeing lights and images and different things. And that's because in these states, this is what separates liminal dreaming from lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming is actually like storylines and characters and all of those things. Within liminal dreaming, a lot of the time it's just things that you're processing throughout the day. So you're going to see random images, you're going to get random ideas. Like in this state, you might also have like jumbled thoughts. Like, have you ever been going to sleep and saying an affirmation, or maybe even counting like 1, 2, 3, but then eventually you start to like forget what number you're on, and then you start to like jumble around like the numbers, and you start to get really confused. That is liminal dreaming. So if you're experiencing that, that is a sign that you're falling into that state. And then I know a lot of people will experience those jerks. Like, have you ever been falling asleep and you like experience like a jerk or like something that like totally throws you off? Those are called myoclonic jerks, and those are symptoms of liminal dreaming. So if you experience those jerks as you're falling into sleep or in the morning, then you know that you're in the liminal states, and you can actually use those as well to induce lucid dreams and out-of-body experiences. This is why people get lucid during naps, because during a nap, even though you don't have enough time to go into REM, depending on how long you take your nap, you can still access liminal states, which is you falling into a light sleep. Basically, liminal dreaming is just hovering and riding the wave between wakefulness and dreams. And so you're experiencing a little bit of both in these states. And the way to practice this is really easy, and we've actually talked about it a lot on the channel without actually calling it liminal dreaming. So we've just talked about anchoring hypnagogic imagery, right? And so as you're falling asleep, see how long you can stay conscious and see how long you can hold on to those images and those flashes of color. Don't try to hold on to them, but just hold your consciousness and see if you can keep observing what's going on without falling asleep, and see how long you can pull that experience out. And the more you do this, the easier it's going to get, and you'll actually be able to be conscious within all states of sleep. How cool is that? And all different states of sleep have different qualities. Deep sleep, dreamless sleep, delta wave sleep, that is actually known as like the pillar of consciousness within Tibetan Buddhism. Within that state of sleep, you can experience what's called clear light sleep, which is where the Buddha says that enlightenment can be reached. So that is a very deep state of consciousness, and it's out of dreaming sleep. So practicing liminal dreaming and becoming conscious and holding consciousness within, throughout sleep and different stages of sleep, that will allow you to become conscious in these really transformative stages of sleep, like deep delta wave sleep and REM sleep, as you already know, and liminal states as well. So you can actually use your entire sleeping cycle to experience something new, which I think is really, really cool. And these are a lot easier to get into. You can get into this in just a meditation as well. If you put on a sleeping mask and go into a meditation and you start to see all of those images and colors, you're going into a liminal dream. And you can really go into a really deep space in those dreams, and it can become very like kaleidoscopic and like psychedelic and like a very interesting state of consciousness. So don't just see lucid dreaming as the goal. See it as one of the experiences of the journey, but don't see it as like the end of the journey, because there's so many different states of consciousness. So lucid dreaming or liminal dreaming is definitely something that I'd recommend trying. Again, you can get into this state within a meditation. You can get into this state before bed, in a nap, like if you're asleep in like a car or something. And this state of consciousness, liminal dreaming, happens in the alpha brainwave state and the theta brainwave state. So you're aware, but you're in a really calm, relaxed state of mind. So that's kind of a way to know when would be the best time to induce or to practice liminal states or inducing liminal states. Only had one dream over and over and over, not a good time. However, your classes information have helped me take. I'm glad, Gib, and I'm always here to help anytime you need, my friend. And it's really interesting when you have like reoccurring dreams too. And then you break it, like you actually get out of that. It's really interesting. And Gib, are you referring to like always as well? Like, have you ever only had one dream, like reoccurring dream? If so, that's actually really crazy. That's crazy. If that's what you're saying, let me know for sure. I've had a massive zombie attack, must have been over. I've had a zombie dream as well. I actually have it in my dream journal as the snowy apocalypse, and I did get lucid halfway through it, and there's tons of zombies like climbing over this gate, and I just knew that I was dreaming, so I just like jumped off the ground and flew. Very good way to get away from things, is just to fly away. Any advice on having consciousness while falling asleep without being too awake and not getting out of the state? Yeah, so find something to anchor your consciousness. This could be a point of vision that you hold on to. This could be an affirmation. This could be like an image or a color. You can be counting as well if you want to count. Sometimes I will practice on changing what I see, so I will focus on a red triangle, and this is a way that you can practice honing in on your awareness and control within lucid dream states and out-of-body experience states, is learning how to change the imagery within these states. And so I'll just think about, red triangle, red triangle. Once I have that, okay, blue circle, blue circle. And this kind of helps keep the mind engaged, but not too engaged to the point where you're like waking up or not going into experience. But this is where you can kind of play with it. Like, again, you can count, you can create different images, you can run yourself through a dream scene. Sometimes I just love to daydream, like I love to daydream. What is the most beautiful thing you can think of? For me, it's like an Alice in Wonderland world, That's what I imagine in my head. So I'll go through as I'm accessing this state and just create my imagination. I'm just like painting my imagination of this world that I am creating. Not only does this activate your creativity and keep your mind engaged, but it's like new information. You're not repeating an affirmation or something. You're in control. And you'll notice sometimes there will be a time where you're actually doing this and it actually turns into a dream you have. This is actually how I had my first lucid dream through a wild, but it was unintentional when I actually appeared in the thing I was imagining, which is kind of crazy. But that's how you can kind of anchor your consciousness. Just give your mind something to do, but just make sure it's something that either benefits your practice or doesn't wake you up too much, if that makes sense. Do you take payments for your Lucid Dream course? I do take payments for my Lucid Dream course. So I think I have that one up for 2 separate payments. If you're wanting potentially a different payment plan than I have offered, then you can always email me and I can create something specific for you so you can sign up if you want to. And I can give you my email right now. But yeah, all of my things I offer, my mentorships and my courses, I have payment plans on. So there is my email, just contact.thelucidmystic@gmail.com if you need, if you're wanting to get a payment plan kind of adjusted from what I have on there. And if you just want to see what I have on there, I will post the link here again, even though you should be up there as well. Okay. Let's see. Since 1996 when I came back from Africa. Before that, I don't remember. Wow. When was your last lucid dream? Because I want to see if we can maybe dive into that a little bit more. See if we can, change something around. But Trip, there is the link. You'll be able to click on, I have 3 courses currently. The Ultimate Guide to Lucid Dreaming, Beyond Lucidity, and then just a 1-hour class to manifest and create things in the waking state and the lucid dream state, if that makes sense. So I have those 3 right there. Again, email me if you have any questions. And that's basically liminal dreaming, you guys. And it's a really interesting state of consciousness, and we can use all states of sleep, like I said before. So I would definitely recommend playing with this and just trying to reach this state in meditation, trying to create things and see how real you can create your visualizations. That's what's fun about this state. You just think you're just imagining, or like visualizing colors, but all of a sudden things get really crisp and I've gotten jolted awake before because I've just been in this hypnagogic state, liminal dreaming. But then all of a sudden it's like I opened my eyes and I was somewhere else. It was very real and I like startled myself awake and woke up. So these states are very, very powerful and they can be used to enhance this practice. So I hope that this helped you. Again, those were the 3 steps to lucid dreaming, and then also kind of an introduction to liminal dreaming and how to access it and how to use it to enhance your practice. Again, if you guys are interested in lucid dreaming or out-of-body experience or inducing out-of-body experiences in 30 days or less, then I do offer classes, courses, and mentorships as well. There is the link right there. If you do have any questions, then feel free to shoot me an email at contact.thelucidmystic@gmail.com. Again, I just came out with a new line for my merch, a new like dreamy line, so make sure to check that out if you guys are interested. And if you're on Facebook, maybe you want to join a group of lucid dreamers and dreamers alike and you can join my dream team. It's called Haylee Lynn's Lucid Dream Team. There should be links to everything that I'm discussing in the description, and I would love to work with you guys and talk to you guys further. So again, if you have any questions or anything that I can do, definitely just let me know. Shoot me an email. I'm always available. My last stream was... Yeah, definitely shoot me a message, Gib. I definitely want to hear about that more. That's really interesting. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so glad that I got to talk to you guys today and hang out. Let me know if you have any cool experiences. Again, you can always leave comments on my videos. I know some videos I have a hard time getting back to all the comments because there's a lot on some videos, but I will always try to get back to you guys. If you have any questions or anything though, like, you can always leave a comment on my posts or email me and I will get back to you. And then in that group, I am very active as well. So if you want to join Haylee Lynn's Lucid Dream Team, I'm going to start going live in there every week as well. And we've built up such a cool dreaming community. Everyone's supportive, sharing their techniques, their experiences, and it's really, really fun. And I just want you guys to know how much I love you, and I hope that you guys have an amazing night. And of course, as many amazing life transforming experiences as possible. But we will be back next Monday, and I'm going to try going live more as well once I figure out my schedule. I have a few different things that I'm working on for you guys, but we're getting there. We're doing it, and I'm really, really happy that I got to chill with you guys today. Thank you again, guys, so much. I love you all so much, and as always, I'm sending you endless love and endless lucidity. Bye, guys.